What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and thank you for continually supporting my page while we try to navigate what's on the horizon for the next couple of years. So, anytime we get in a new administration, there's a push to talk about bipartisanship. Typically, it's Republicans saying, we should work together, we should have bipartisanship. And listen, while I do realize and I do understand that in order to get things done, there's going to have to be bipartisan agreement in many ways. Democrats and Republicans in the House and the Senate and the presidency are going to have to work together. However, that does not mean that we at all compromise or negotiate our principles. Let me say this again. We should work to be bipartisan to get things done for the American people, but that does not mean that we compromise or negotiate our principles. Those should still be intact. It kind of reminds me, there are a lot of people right now on social media. Some people, mostly people who are Republicans, who are posting things like, even though we disagreed on the candidate, this is a time for us to come together. We can still be friends even though we disagreed on the candidate. And I'm going to be honest with you guys for a second. One of the things that bothered me the most about this election was that I feel like there are people out there who, again, I've coached their children for 20 or so years. I've been an educator to their children for 20 or so years. I've been a friend to some of these people. To some of these people, a relative. And they looked at Donald Trump saying that he is going to indemnify police. And in some cases, giving examples such as when a police officer makes a mistake, he shouldn't have to worry about losing his home or his family or whatever. And looked at that, knowing that that police officer could make a mistake and end my life, a black man in this country, and they decided, you know what? I'm still voting for him. With that being said, I can't compromise or negotiate my principles. I can't compromise or negotiate my life. And for that reason, I can't find it in myself to, just forgive and forget. That just doesn't happen, because to me, you gave the keys to the office, the keys to the house, the keys to my life, my daughter's life, my family's livelihood to someone who thinks that if someone were to make a mistake and end my life, they shouldn't have to worry about losing their house. So Eric Swalwell was on today, and he basically echoed my sentiments.
One of the candidates in the presidential race, we're talking about bipartisanship out there on the campaign trail, and that was not ultimately what won. So Trump picked up support almost across the board with the working class, with voters of color, with men and women. He closed the gap in blue states. He expanded support in swing states. Republicans just took back the Senate. Did voters hand Trump and the Republican Party a sweeping mandate?
Well, I respect the will of the people, certainly. I'm not going to respect the ill of a weasel in Donald Trump, somebody who doesn't understand that these same voters don't want government-mandated abortions. They don't want a sweep up and roundup of anyone who looks like an immigrant in this country. They don't want us to walk away from our obligation to defend Ukraine. There's a lot we can work on together if he wants to be serious, if he wants to have security at the border and address the workforce crisis in immigration. You're going to find more Democrats than not who want to be there with him. But if he just wants to carry out grievances against his political enemies, he's looking at the tallest fence in the post right now as to the effort that's going to fence in any of his corruption or political grievance campaigns.
And as he pointed out, there are so many issues that we can't compromise on. If Donald Trump wants to be serious about the border, we can be serious about border security. But if he wants to just round up people who look like they're immigrants, people who are speaking Spanish, we are not going to compromise those things. We're not going to compromise mass deportation of people who've been here. We're not going to compromise deportation of mothers and fathers who have children who are citizens here because they decided they wanted to do that. We are not going to give up birthright citizenship to these children who are living here, some, teenagers, adults who are in college and things like that. There are so many issues that we cannot compromise on that we have to make sure we stand on our principles. So again, if Republicans want to be serious and they want to move a little bit more to the center or move a lot to the center and meet us halfway, and we come up with bipartisan things that are humane, that think about empathy, consider people's feelings, their livelihood, we're ready for those things. But if you want us to give up our principles and become people who don't care, who are apathetic instead of empathetic, we're not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not allowing Democrats to do that without hearing my voice on it. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.